Hi class, my name is Jodi Cordero and I'm partnering today with Anais Jaar for our web analytics tool presentation on Hotjar. Sorry. Um, so Hotjar launched in 2014 as a self-funded company. They did later join forces with Contest Square, and today they have a global team of over 200 employees that they call Hotjarians. They work remotely throughout Europe, the Americas, and Africa. They have a broad industry focus ranging from many different industries, such as social media, education, customer service, marketing, technology, and of course, lead and survey generators. But pretty much any company that you could think of, they are able to service anyone that needs any type of web analytics. They are trusted by almost 1.5 million businesses of all sizes in 180 countries, including some big names that were surprising even to me, including Microsoft, Panasonic, Nintendo, HubSpot, Adobe, and T-Mobile. Just a few. They have tons on their website. They seem to love to brag about that, but they are doing a really good job. What we really liked about Hotjar is that it's very intuitive, as you'll see when we go along. They have some really cool features, very visual in the ways that they discover and consolidate the information and then communicate the needs to the users. So we'll get into that in more detail, but again, they have a really good way of just packaging it all together. So the sign up process is pretty simple. It's like most website signups. You just click on the link. The link is here. And then once you click on the link, it takes you to a sign up page. You can do it very simply by just signing into your Google account, or you can sign up through email. So when you do sign up through email, it asks you to fill out this little form, which asks for your name, your email address, and a password. And then they send you an email to your email address with a 6-digit code, like they normally do for MFAs. And you just put in the code and confirm. So once you get there, it's going to ask you some additional information about your company. So it asks you your organization name. So since I was doing this as a test for the project, I just put my company as self, and it actually filled it in as company self. So it asked me how many people work there, which I just put 1. I think it says like 1 to 10. It goes all the way up to hundreds, depending. And on your role, I just put self-employed or student. And it asks you if you've what you'd like to do with Hotjar first. So here it gives you like some little tiles that you can say if you want to collect data from users and different things, or you can just skip that feature if you don't want to use it right now. It asks you if you've used Hotjar before, just so they have an idea of your experience, so that when they're building the preliminary user space for you, they have an idea of what you're looking for or what your needs are going to be. They have a lot of tutorials and they have a lot of screens and demos. So they use that information to kind of like personalize the experience based on your level of needs. After completing the sign up process, you're automatically taken to the installation step, which I thought was cool. You don't have to go anywhere to look for the next step. So for the installation step, it actually it asks you here what page that you want to install Hotjar to work from. So you do actually have to have a real website to work from to put here. I put like their email address or their web address or Yahoo, and it ended up coming back with an error. So you do have to have a real company with a website of your own that you would be doing the analytics from. Once you do put in that website, it tells you it's scanning for Google Tag Manager if you chose that as your preliminary option. And then it tells you, I'm sorry, actually, it scans it and tells you that you can actually use Google Tag Manager. So then you just click this button to use Google Tag Manager. Or if you don't want to use Google Tag Manager, you can use any of these other platforms. They have a very integrated process. So you can pretty much use any of these platforms, WordPress, Shopify, Wix, all of these ones that are listed, and even some others, to install it onto your web page so it starts running those JavaScripts for you. But you do have to have a website and an application normally to make the process easier. They allow you to install quickly if you have a platform, But if you don't have a platform, they actually do give you the whole JavaScript code. And what you do is you copy and paste this entire script into the head of every page that you want to track. So it's definitely easier if you have a platform, because otherwise you're going to have to put this on every single page of your website. And then once that's done, you would be able to, it takes you to an overview page and you can start viewing your dashboards and creating them from there. Again, if you don't have a website, it will not let you install, and there is an option to skip. And then if you skip, you come down to this screen that says, are you sure? It says you won't be able to start Hotjar on your website until you actually install the tracking code, which we understand. So if you do choose to continue without installation, when it takes you to your overview and your dashboard, it's going to put a little message on every single widget saying that you have to install the Hotjar tracking code to gather insight. Now, again, if you're not able to install it, they actually have a really cool live demo that's available at this web address, www.hotjar.com/tour. And by the way, every single link that we have, what we're going to do is we'll post this video and we will also post the presentation. So if you guys are interested in linking on any of these links, you can always get them out of the posted presentation. So we've been talking about a lot here, and they do one of the great things that we discovered about Hotjar is that they actually have a pretty awesome free plan. So their free plan, they don't call it a free trial because it's a forever plan. It's not just a trial. Their basic plan does not expire, and it's $0, really $0. They don't even have you put a credit card down. Now with that zero plan, basically you have access to 35 daily sessions, which that means like if you have 30 different web pages with activity, you can get up to activity on those 35 sessions per day. It collects data on a site with up to 2,000 page views per day. So there's plenty of things for you to collect the data on in those daily sessions. You can determine what you want those sessions to be based on the different things that are available to choose from. And the basic plan is separate for each of these different functions within Hotjar. So you get 35 sessions for each of these different functions. So Observe is their program that allows you to visualize user behavior with things like heat maps to see what the users see. Visualize their behavior with heat maps or see what they see with recordings. And we'll explain those two unique features a little bit later. But Observe lets you have up to 1,050 sessions per month. It includes automatic data capture and unlimited heat maps, which is pretty cool because I think from what I saw from some of the other presentations, there's a lot of limits on the heat maps. Discover is where you can ask how users feel with their feedback and surveys, and you get up to 20 surveys or feedbacks per month. You can create and store, you get 20 responses per month via 3 surveys or 4 feedbacks. And feedback is available in 40 different languages, and you have unlimited questions per survey. So even though the survey itself is limited, you can put as many questions as you want into the survey. And they have a ton of banked surveys for you to choose from that are already templates, so it makes the process very easy. Engage is a way that you recruit, schedule, and host moderated interviews with users. So if you actually want to talk to your users to get real one-on-one feedback, you can do that through interviews as well. Another great unique feature that they have. So with the basic package, you can only recruit within your own network, and you get 2 interviews per month, and each interview is 30 minutes, and you get automated scheduling. It includes screener questions, so you send them the screener questions in advance so they know what questions you're going to ask. It includes video calling, so you don't have to worry about having an outside platform like Zoom or anything like that. And then there's also paid plans, which we'll discuss in the next slide. They do get a little bit expensive and they do get a little bit cumbersome, but there are ability to customize those plans. And all paid plans do come with a 30-day, 100% satisfaction money back guarantee. So if you do, you decide that you don't like it for any reason, you can get money back within the 30 days. And they do have discounts for paying yearly, 20%. And they do have scale and custom packages available, but you have to contact them for details. So for the pricing, as you can see, it's kind of complicated, right? Because again, they split observe, ask, and engage into 3 different buckets. And then within each of those buckets, you have 2 different price ranges for plus and business. So what the user would need to do is really evaluate what they really need and then choose the plan that works for them. So if they're spending a lot of time observing, they might want to get the business observe. But if they're not spending a lot of time engaging, they might want to stick with the basic or maybe the plus. So they can pick and choose the package that works for them best. That is one of the good features, but you can see that it does add up, because if they take all of the business plans, you're looking at almost $300 a month for business. So you may need to pick and choose and start with basic first just to make sure you like it, and then build based on what you want. One of the good features that they do have for Engage, though, is that they have a pay as you go. So if you go over your 2 interviews per month on the basic, you can just buy credits for $90 each. So if you only use 1 interview every 6 months, then you're only spending, say, $90. So it's another great way that they break it out for you. So this could be confusing in the beginning, but it may be good for companies in the long run. And right now, actually, Engage is still in beta. So in beta, that you do get a 30% discount on all the prices. And again, these are the standard per month prices. So if we go with a yearly price, you get 20% off of those. So I'm going to take a little break from breathing because I've been talking for a while, and I'm going to pass it over to my partner, Anais, so she can take over.
Hi, how are you, class? My name is Anais, and I'm going to be taking over the next couple of slides. We have landed on the integration slide. So you can connect Hotjar with thousands of popular apps, just like the ones you see on the screen here. You can, with this, you can automate most of your work, so you have more time for more important tasks and bring on more important things. And the best part is no code is required for the integration. So it's low code and lets you automate most of your reports. You can go ahead to the next slide. Clickstream analysis metrics. So from the demo dashboard, we selected these 4 metrics, which I thought was interesting and had the most to do with Clickstream. So the first 2 I'm going to talk about a little bit. So we have top click buttons and links. This is the number of sessions with most click buttons and or links on the website. So if you see on the screen, the most click button is the Get Started Now screen. So that's probably the initial screen. Everyone needs to get started somewhere. So that is currently the most clicked button. And I believe that was in a 30-day range. Next over here, we have the top pages, which is number of sessions with the top visited pages. And the top page for this is the demo link. So everyone gets on, and the top click link is to use the demo. Next, we have 2 interesting metrics, which I haven't heard too much about, which is rage clicks. So if you don't know, a rage click is basically when the user on the website is getting frustrated and is frustratedly clicking or repetitively clicking just out of pure frustration. I didn't know this was an actual term for analytics, but it is. So here we have rage click sign up. This is where users that have rage clicked and visited the sign up page. Maybe there was something on the site that wasn't clicking and got frustrated and repeatedly clicking. Next, we have rage clicks and U-turns. These are sessions of users who felt frustrated or confused, probably went back, clicked a bunch of times, went back. And yes, these are the clickstream analysis. So we can go ahead to the next slide. Real-time reporting metrics. Okay, so Hotjar does not have exactly a real-time reporting feature, but the next best thing to that is surveys. So basically, I know everyone has had the experience of getting on a website and a survey just popping up on their screen, either right when you get on the screen or during your experience on the site. This allows Hotjar to collect user feedback in real time. We can go ahead. There are 100 customizable templates for all types of surveys. And yeah, we can go ahead to the next slide. Report segmentation capabilities. So Hotjar can segment reporting by user attributes on the dashboard. The demo dashboard was a little limited, so we were kind of working with what we had. But if you work with user segments or campaign segments per Hotjar starting tips, you can surface good insights, and it is a great way to troubleshoot bugs and issues your users are reporting. You can also discover different experiences users are having across user segments. So this is a very helpful feature to track, your users' issues and their experiences on your site. Go ahead to the next slide. All right, I'm going to pass it back to Jodi for this slide.
And there I am, unmuted. Thank you so much, Anais. So this is a copy of the dashboard. I'm sorry, it is a little bit fuzzy, but you could see these are top posts overall using technology. This is just an idea of all the different widgets that they have available on their dashboard. It gives you an aggravated view of all your data, similar to any other dashboard. They have tons of filters and metrics to choose from. These are just an idea of the filters. You could do viewed pages, landing pages, exit pages, those great features that Anais talked about, the rage clicking and the U-turns, even specific clicked elements and events. Those are like really cool features that I also did not know about, but it's really good at uncovering what's irritating your customers and trying to fix it. And then other things, you can filter down by the device, by mobile, desktop, and phone devices, what browsers they're using, what operator system, similar to Google Analytics. So there's a bunch of different filters that you can use. Their time ranges are from 24 hours to the last year, with custom range options. So if you just want to use a specific 3 dates because you knew that there was something going on with your website and you wanted to see if you got any bad feedback and those rage clicks, or any lift because you were running a sale, you could do, if you had that Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale, you could run that specific weekend of data with those custom ranges. But again, it is either from last 24 hours to last year because they don't do real-time reporting. You can choose line, pie, and bar charts. You can see them all here. They've got a pie chart, line charts, and bar charts all here. And one of the great things is that you can easily click this little button up here and change the type of chart. So you don't actually have to take the widget off and put it back on. You can just click on that button and you can immediately change the entire look of the chart if you didn't like how it looked, and also change your filters and segment them down. And then also in that, you can calculate by percents or totals with that same click of a button. If you want to move anything, you like literally just click and drag and it'll move to wherever you want on the dashboard. Again, you don't have to remove and add. If I remember when we were doing Google Analytics, you kind of had to remove and add, but this one lets you move them around. And then if you hover over, I can't show it here in the screenshot, but if I were to hover over this line at any point in time, it's giving me exact data for that exact point in time. So these dashboards are actually really intuitive and user-friendly so that you don't have to open another screen to get more detailed information. I'm going to move on to the next slide, which is some of the unique features. They had some really cool features, but the ones that we really liked were the heat maps, recordings, and feedback polls. If you click on any of these links in our presentation, you'll actually be able to go to a live demo. These are still screenshots, but the live demo, you'll actually see these things in action as you would see them as a Hotjar user. The heat maps show you where the majority of the time is being spent with the mouse. So if the mouse has spent a lot of time here, you know it. And you could see here, for example, that they're looking at this specific price plan a lot. And also this feedback feature. Actually, I'm going to talk about feedback here. So you'll see what that means right here. So they were comparing the two different plans and they were spending a lot of time on this plan and also giving feedback. I'll click over to feedback since I touched on it. Feedback lets you add this little red box here. And if they click on it, it pops up a box. This is a customizable question. You can ask anything you want. You could say, what do you think of our sale today? And then they could put whatever face they want. And once they put a face, it'll ask them to actually provide experience. So you can get real user experience based on when they're actually in the site using it. So if they're happy with the sale, they'll tell you right here how they feel in that exact moment. So you're getting real raw emotions from customers, as Hotjar likes to say, in the wild. And then the recordings we thought were really cool because it actually, again, in the video, it'll show you, it actually follows your mouse. So exactly as the user was moving their mouse, it shows you on the screen. So you could see exactly how they're performing on your website. And on the side, it gives you the session info and tells you exactly what buttons they pushed at what minute or second within their session. So you can really follow along their experience and see where they started struggling at so that you can work on making improvements where you need to. So I'm going to pass it back over to Anais now so she could talk about usability a little bit.
Okay, so with usability, as far as accessibility, intuitiveness, and ease of use, speaking as a first-time user of Hotjar, it's very easy to navigate. If you have any type of hesitation, question, Hotjar's site is just very informative and has direction for almost everything. You barely need to go and basically go out of Hotjar's website to source anything about Hotjar. Their site is very informative, very black and white, straight to the point, easy to navigate. And yep, that was my experience for usability. We can go ahead because we're running a little high on time. We can go ahead to the next slide.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, so this is you.
Okay, so search engine optimization. I'm not going to go too deep into this because class, we know funnels. Jodi and I have touched base on most of these already. So Hotjar cannot be used for an SEO, but here are 5 ways Hotjar can improve your website's SEO. One is taking advantage of different heat maps, recordings, funnels, forms, and incoming feedback. To touch base on each of these, basically different heat maps, meaning the click, move, scroll. So basically it explains where they clicked, where they move, where they scroll the most. Recording basically takes you on the user's journey throughout the site and pinpoints exactly where they go, where they click, how they move. And yes, we are going to go to the next slide because
Perfect.
we're high on time.
Where are we at?
So
we can just wrap this one up real quick, I guess. You kind of heard us saying the advantages as we went along. Hotjar is very successful in combining different tools and making it easy for us to use. They have an excellent free unlimited plan. The paid packages have multiple tiers for you to mix and match. They have support for all different devices, and they have experts knowledge, like Anais mentioned. They have really great tutorials, and we literally didn't have to go out of their site to do any of the investigation for this presentation. Did you want me to go ahead with the drawbacks too so we could wrap it up, Anais?
Yes, no problem.
So the drawbacks, there were only a few drawbacks: that the multiple plans can add up quickly. They did not have a predictive analytics feature. You're unable to download and share your recordings, so you can only view them within the application. But again, because they have no limit on the users, anybody can go in and see them. So you could just tap your partner and tell them to take a look. We said no real-time reporting. There's also no A and B testing. And some of the customer feedback did say that they could potentially slow down your site because it requires you to load everything, not just the pieces of information that you're looking for. So those were the major drawbacks. But again, it's a really great resource, especially for the money. I'm sorry, going back to the references really quick, pretty much we got everything out of Hotjar. We just put the main one here, but all the individual ones are there. And these are a few other resources that we also tapped into. So we really hope you enjoyed the presentation. Sorry it went a little bit long, but I do hope that you guys were able to learn a little bit from it. Anais?
Thank you for watching, guys. And I hope you guys learned something and use Hotjar one day. It's a great tool.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.